This is the Groom Theory Way podcast with your host, Haven Hobbs. It's time to show you the Groom Theory Way. It's time to start the show.
All right, welcome to another podcast of the GT Way, the Groom Theory Way, Entrepreneur Edition. I got a special guest today. This guy, I met him back in 2015, had the privilege of working with him for 3 years, see his whole journey, see him grow. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's a mover and doer in the St. Louis area. What can I say? He's a loving husband, a great father, multiple business owner. With all that being said, welcome to the pod, my man, Tez.
Welcome to the pod. Thank you,
man,
bro.
It's a pleasure. Man, my pleasure, man. My pleasure, man.
Hey, bro, you know, you're my big brother.
Yeah, I know how we do, man.
How we
you know what I'm saying?
man. But to tell people a little bit about me, my name's Martez Session. You know, I have my hand in a little bit of everything from real estate to rental cars. You know what I'm saying? My profession is barbering. I own a bar, cocktail lounge, hookah lounge.
Yeah.
We have two sister companies in Memphis, which is a bar and cocktail lounge as well. Like I said, we just get it in,
Get
man.
it
You know
in,
what I'm saying?
man.
It's time
Get
to
it
be a
in.
dog.
Get
You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
We're going to get to all that today. I'm excited just to hear everything, man.
For
I
sure.
know,
Thank you,
obviously, I
bro.
know you, but I want everybody to get to know you,
For sure.
especially from your humbling beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just to begin with, as entrepreneurs, I know as a kid, there was a certain person that I seen that kind of pushed me into entrepreneurship.
Gotcha.
Now, was it a certain person or was it a thing that kind of got you going as a kid that you saw that kind of got you into entrepreneurship?
Definitely. You know what? As a kid, I went through a lot of traumas, right? So I saw a lot of things that I didn't want to do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for
Like,
sure, for sure.
Well, first of all, I come from a line of entrepreneurs. Like my grandfather was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
My father was an entrepreneur. My grandfather opened a tire and rim shop called ML King Tire in St. Louis almost 30, 40 years ago, which opened the door for everybody in the family to have some form of work, some form of income.
Yeah.
And later on down the line, my father ended up taking that business over.
Yeah.
And I worked 11 years of my life there.
Yeah.
So let's rewind back to the traumas.
Yeah.
So I grew up, single mother. You know what I'm saying? My mom was raising us. My dad was always in St. Louis. We were a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
We ended up being in Jeff City, Missouri, right?
Okay.
So my mom worked pretty much factory jobs. You know what I mean? Our entire life. You know, she working 12-hour shifts, this, that, and the third, which took a lot of time from home because she was always working.
Yeah, right.
But at certain periods of time, I realized that the plants would shut down. Like they would send half the company to Chicago, half the company to Mexico, and a job opportunity would be gone. You know what I mean? And we end up losing a few things in the way. Like my mom bought a brand new car, ended up getting repossessed because she lost that great job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as a kid, I said, I'm never going to be one of those type of workers. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not going to work in a factory. I'm not going to do this. I want to do it on my own. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't guaranteed. It scared me, because I'm like, we was jamming once upon a time. In the factory jobs back then, they paying $18, $20, $25 an hour, which was good money back then.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, all of a sudden, it's gone. Everybody, we laying everybody off, So it scared me. And so I was like, you know what? That's what really motivated me to be an entrepreneur and follow like the lead of my grandfather and my father and different things like that. And I've never told anybody that. This is the gym. This is the gym. Yep. So I just, like I said, I just really got on just banking it and putting everything on myself. You know what I'm saying? Putting it on my back. You know what I mean? If I was going to bet on anything, I'm going to bet on me.
So that's dope. So did you have any, as a kid, did you have any jobs or everything was entrepreneurship, or what was the first thing that you did as an entrepreneur, that got you money?
Okay, so school, I wasn't a great student.
Yeah.
And I say that because, like I said, my mom was always at work, so I was pretty much running the streets all the time, you know. And I hung out with older guys. When I was supposed to be at school, we in Arkansas, you know what I mean? I'm just riding.
You was out there.
I was out there, you know what I mean? Because we were doing music, we were doing a little bit of everything. I had my own car, I was doing music. I had girls, you know what I mean? School was the furthest thing away from my mind.
Yeah.
So, it's just... I just started really hustling, selling music. We would do mixtapes. DJ the Sick One, shout out to my boy, and he still follow me to this day, man. He was the DJ where I was, right? And he would make mixtapes, and it would have mainstream music on it, but he would put like 2 or 3 of our songs mixed in, right? Yeah. So we would sell the mixtape. Everybody wanted to hear the newest T.I., the newest Young Dro, or whatever song was on the mixtape, but our songs were blended in with them. So it was an easy way of getting our music out there. So prime example, I was in high school. I was selling CDs, $5 a CD, right?
Okay.
And I made $1,400 selling these CDs in 1 week.
1 week?
1 week. And the school called me, and they called me in the office, say, hey, we want to cut of that money.
You playing.
Can't make this up, bro. You've been selling these CDs on our property.
Right.
We want to cut of the money because you've been selling the CDs on our property.
Yeah.
I literally had to go across the street, which Lincoln University, the college, was right across the street from my high school, and stand on the other side and sell my CDs because they wanted a copy. That's how much my entrepreneurship, like, rubbed off on people because everybody's playing this CD. They was like, where are you getting this CD from? My face on the front of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the freak? You know what I'm saying? So it was just a situation. So I've always been a hustler. I really jumped off the porch, I want to say in the 9th grade. I played ball. I know you love play ball or whatever. I played AAU, this, that, and the third. And I end up getting cut from the team on 9th grade. I'm like, I thought I had it. You know what I mean? Boom. But it was a little politics because like the principal's son, he wasn't that great, but he had to make the team. You know what I'm saying? Had to. So he was like, he was on the ball. You know what I'm saying? But we got to, you know what I'm saying? Make a decision.
Gotta make a decision here, bro. A business decision. I got you.
Based off of that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just work. You know what I mean? So my first job was McDonald's. You know what I mean? I was making, I think, I want to say $5.75 or $6.10 an hour. And a crazy story about that was I had a cousin, right? He's incarcerated right now. You know what I'm saying? I love him to death. You know what I'm saying? And he was hustling. He was doing his thing. And he would just have wads of money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep up with him. So I'm working like 50, 60, 70 hours at McDonald's. Getting it in, trying to keep up with him. And we end up getting in trouble, kicked out of school because we were throwing money across the class. You know what I mean? Like, he got his hustle money. I got my burger flipping money. I'm throwing the money with him. You know what I'm saying? So we used to do stuff like that. You know, I've always been a hustler. I always wanted to just have my own lane and just have my own paper, you know. So the entrepreneurship spirit and the hustle spirit was just in me, just in general. You know, it just came from an early age. Seeing my mom put in all those hours, seeing my dad being an entrepreneur, seeing what I didn't want to do. And I mean, it kind of led me to who I am today.
Dope. So what age, because obviously you're a barber, when did you start cutting hair and when did you decide to go to barber school?
Okay. So my mom bought me my first pair of clippers from Kmart. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm gonna do something with them. You know what I'm saying? So she bought me my clippers from Kmart. So I was in the bathroom trying to cut my own hair and tore myself up.
We all been there.
I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So I said, you know what? I'm finna be a barber. You know what I mean? This is what I'm finna do. So I started my own mobile barber service. And I had to be like probably 15, 16. So
you like a freshman, sophomore high school?
Yeah, like as soon as I got my car, it was another entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying, spirit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, boom. So I thank all these people before, because like for $10, I used to drive to their house and mess their hair up, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, it's cool as hell. And they loved it. They was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because where I was in Jeff City, there weren't a lot of African American or black barbers. You know, it was like one, then either you liked them or you didn't. You know what I mean? And I'm coming to you for $10. You know what I'm saying? Look,
so it's a win-win.
Weird. You know, and I thank them today because they helped me sharpen my skills. You know, but like about 15 to 16, and super dope story. Why I decided to go to barber college. So, like I said, I wasn't a great student in school, right? And high school started to come to an end. You know, it's like, what am I gonna do now? You know, like at this point, I literally had a mental breakdown. Anxiety kicked in because I've been BSing this whole time. You know what I mean? Like I really didn't have a plan on what I wanted to do. So I was in a program to help minorities find scholarships for college. So I was the only male in this program. It was all females. They got scholarships for a girl with 2 legs and 4 arms. You know what I'm saying? You just got to find it. You gotta find it.
It's out there. You just got to find it.
It's out there. You got to find it. So long story short, the lady that was the head of the class, she found me a scholarship to Tennessee State University. So I'm like, wait a minute, I wasn't that good in high school. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if college for me. So I told her, I said, you know what? I think I want to be a barber. You know what I mean? And the lady went off on me. She was like, barber's not a real profession. It's a Caucasian's profession. She was just going in on me. And it hurt my feelings. I'm 17 at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Kind of impressionable. And I'm already at a sensitive state because I didn't know what I was going to do. So some of the girls in the class were like, nah, Tess, forget her. You know what I'm saying? Forget what she's talking about. If you want to be a barber, go be a barber. You know, da-da-da-da. And a lot of people don't know that in 2007, when I graduated and I went to barber college after that at University of Missouri Barber College in St. Louis, that I was going through like an anxiety mental breakdown. You know, like I didn't really even remember being in barber college.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to the doctor. They were giving me prescriptions for anxiety because, like I said, real life stuff do real life things to you. Pressure bust pipes.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I wouldn't even take the medicine because I didn't like the way it made me feel, like kind of like a vegetable kind of state.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to just have to work through this. You know what I mean? So 2 years, I worked through high stress anxiety. You know what I mean? Like just feeling just abnormal, not feeling myself. Because I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I went to barber college in 2007, came out. But like I said, just going to barber college, I just stuck with what I was good at or what I had been doing already. I'm like, hey, I've been cutting hair this long. I'm going to keep cutting, you know? So that was the reason I went to barber college.
So when you went to barber college, did you move with your dad? Because I know your dad from St. Louis. Was your mom still in Jeff City?
Yeah, my mom was still in Jeff City.
Okay,
So I graduated from high school. And at that point in time, I was like, I'm going to St. Louis with my dad. And I just kept the road of what I was doing. Like I said, found a barber college. They weren't even giving no grants or nothing like that. I had to get a loan through Sally Mae. You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, it was only $7,500. You know what I'm saying? Now barber college is astronomical.
Crazy.
You know?
$25K, $30K.
No, man. So, So like I said, when I graduated from high school, I moved with my dad here in St. Louis. And that's when I went to barber college and things started really taking off for me.
Yeah. And when you went to barber college, was you working? That's when you started working with your dad at the tire shop?
Yeah, I had already been working with my dad. My dad's originally from St. Louis.
Yeah.
So since the time I was 16, I would be working like through the summer vacation, summer vacations, 3-day weekends or whatever I had. You know what I mean? So any opportunity that I had to spend with my dad, I was working.
You was there.
You know what I mean?
Sense.
Boom.
That makes sense.
So I had already been working with my dad, but when I first got here to St. Louis permanently, I was working at Foot Locker at the Jamestown Mall. You know what I mean? So it was Jamestown Mall was in Florissant. My barber college was in Florissant. So it kind of helped me and like I said, make it happen. So I made a little money, and I was working in the tire shop every chance I got because the barber college wasn't during the weekend. So I'm working the tire shop. I was doing whatever. You know what I mean? To try to get some money.
You just grinding. Yeah. It's crazy because I remember when I moved out here, before I moved out here, actually in 2011. It's crazy. I don't know if you remember this. 2011, I was trying to find barbershops. And
I remember.
Yeah, my wife was like, hey, my stylist got a barber in her shop. This is, it's a barber beauty. Check her out. And I remember I went up in there and I met her. But the first person when I came in there was you.
Sitting right in the front.
Sitting there. Well, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if you had your outfit on for your dad tire shop.
I probably did because when I worked at the tire shop, like I said, I worked 7 days a week for multiple years. Like, people don't know that. Two jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I would literally 9 to 5 the tire shop. My dad would let me get off an hour early at 4. And the tire shop, you're dirty. You're oily. So I had about an hour to clean up, get to the shop, and I would cut from 5 to 10. You know what I mean? And that was my day. You know what I mean? So I was probably in the same outfit you see.
And it's crazy because it's kind of full circle, you know what I'm saying? Because like, that's the first time I met you back in 2011. Like, who would have known 4 years later we were working together? You know what I'm saying?
In a major way. You know what I'm saying? In a major way.
How was it? Because I remember the crazy thing is when the opportunity came, when you came to, you had you sat down, like an interview. And you told me your schedule, like, I do this, but I'm going to be paying full booth rent. You know what I mean? I'm at the shop from here to here. You know what I'm saying? Now, was it kind of hard for you to do that? Like, going from like working 7 days a week and trying to build your business in the barbering world at the same time working for your dad at the tire shop?
You know what? I was built for this. You know what I mean? Like, it's either certain people have it or you don't, you know? And I've never thought about how difficult it was to do what I was doing. You know, I was just doing it. You know what I mean? I knew it was necessary. I knew I had a passion for barbering. You know, I knew I needed to pay the bills every day. You know, so those worlds blended for me and I just did it. You know, no complaints, no second guessing, no nothing. It was like, this is what I do, this is who I am, and this is what I'm doing. You know, so it came natural for me. You know what I mean? So it's just, people always ask me, how do you do it all? I'm a dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it all, you know? So
it got to be in you, man, not on you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So that's where that came from. So people ask me, and I was like, I don't know. I just did it. You know? No, looking back, maybe I shouldn't. No, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So that's what has kind of led me to some of the things I've obtained today.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty dope, man. It's crazy because I remember when you first came, and like I had like one spot left, and at that you was like the missing piece of my shop. And the thing about you that was so dope that obviously you was a grinder.
Right.
You could cut hair. You had a clientele, but the best trait about you was your customer service, bro. Amazing. I'm talking about every time you come in the shop, it don't no matter what's going on, you always got a smile on your face. You always talking to your clients. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like listening to them. You know, that was the best trait about you, bro. Now that was like the missing piece of my shop when you came, bro. Like I don't know if I told you, but you was like, you know what I'm saying? Everything about you was like, hey, how's everything going? Everything good? You know, just customer service is A1, and that's the biggest piece that most barbers are missing today.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So when you came to Groom Theory, like, was it everything that you expected?
Groom Theory was a blessing and a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when I got to Groom Theory, it was the elite shop.
Yeah,
you know, everybody wanted to be there.
Yeah,
you know, like I had been trying to get in like before you even met me. You know what I mean? Just talking to people like, how do I get in? You know? Boom. So Groom Theory, like I said, it was a huge blessing for me because it put me on a platform with other professionals that upheld the level of cuts, you know what I mean, the level of professionalism, the level of environment that I wanted to be in, you know. And fun fact is, Groom Theory is the first barbershop I've ever worked in.
Yeah, okay.
I worked in nothing but salons up until that point. So I've never worked with guys, you know what I'm saying? So I was like,
totally different experience. Totally
this
different.
is cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I am with the fellas, I am good. So
that's real though. That's real.
So I was just so excited to get in, you know, and like I said, even dealing with like just like I said, anxiety, like when I told you I had bad anxiety problems, I never forget my first haircut there. You know what I'm saying? It was one of my regular customers. His name was Blake, a kid, you know what I mean? And it was so much pressure around me, I felt, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody was so good, you know. I'm like, I really gotta lace this guy up.
Gotta get him
together. So,
right.
So I'm nervous, hands shaking. I'm like, I gotta get in. You know
gotta get it right.
Look, everybody looking at me. They looking left, they looking right. I'm like, oh no.
And you was right there in the center too.
I was right in the center.
right.
I was like, oh, the pressure, the walls are closing in. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. Hey, that's crazy.
I was like, okay, and I got through it. You know, like I said, nobody knows that I had anxiety issues. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I gotta get through this. And another thing I like to talk about is fear. You know what I'm saying? Like fear affects people in different ways.
Facts,
you know, some people get scared and they just freeze up. You know, some people get scared, they lose their vision. You know, everything start getting blurry. You know, I'm the type of person that even though I had anxiety, even though I get scared, even though there's a lot of fear going on, if I can't see, I'm going to feel. You know,
feel me?
If I can't walk, I'm going to crawl. You know, and I'm going to still get to that. We perform through. You know what I mean? No matter how you feeling. Anxiety, fear, or whatever. And that is another thing that contributed to some of the things that have been able to accomplish, or the people looking like, how'd you do that? You know, I was afraid. You know what I'm saying? But I still went. You know what I mean?
Bro.
So that's a big thing. So I want anybody, if you listening, take this. Even if you get afraid, still go. You know what I mean?
Man.
Don't be complacent. Still rise to the occasion. Nervous, palms sweating, sweating forehead, whatever. Still go. You know,
gotta go.
That's a gem that I want everybody to take and say, still go.
No, that's real, bro. Because like I think a lot of people, especially I look at the elite entrepreneurs, man, as 1%ers. You know what I'm saying? Like yourself and myself. You know, we like, I always tell people fear every time I get in the car in the passenger seat. You know what I'm saying? Every day. I see it every day. And that's the driving force you know, of what's gonna make the day or break the day. Is that fear? You know what I'm saying? We can't go back to that mindset. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I totally get it, man. And I want to touch on something else with you, man. So obviously you brought like a different type experience to the barbershop, right? Just being you, your customer service, your charisma. But another side of you, man, was the nightlife.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what I realized about my man Tez, everything was luxury. You know what I'm talking about? Luxury.
Everything.
Every party, that's a cool thing about the Groom Theory. Like we had when we started doing events together. Like I know I got to hit my man Tez up. He gonna set us up with the top tier luxury experience. We're gonna have the booths, we're gonna have the hookah, we're gonna have the outfits to rock. You know what I'm saying? That's just something that was all about you. You know what I'm saying? And so the cool thing about where did that come from? Did that come from you back in the day when you was just started like rapping and music and all that?
Exactly. You hit it right on the head, bro.
Yeah.
Like I started going to the clubs when I was like 14, 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm at the bar buying my own drinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm smoking Black and Miles. You know what I'm saying? I'm living an older person's life, you know, because I was hanging with older people and they looked at me like little bro. So they always took care of me. Yeah. So I've always been in the clubs, always just like luxury, always like VIP, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom.
Yeah.
So I've always done that. So that's exactly where it came from. And like I said, when me starting that early and me actually liking it and gravitating toward it, I'm like, this is what I like to do. Yeah. And I try to turn all of my passions into careers. You know, I love cutting hair. I turn that passion into a career. Yeah. I like kicking it. You know what I mean? I like entertaining. Like I said, customer service. I turned that into a career by opening a cocktail lounge. You know, so these things are what I love to do and I get paid to do it. You know what I mean? So that's rare within itself. You know, everything that I do is something I love to do.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I mean?
For sure. And it's kind of cool because I remember you used to always say that you always want to open your own club. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you used to work with different promoters. Yep. And you always had something going on every week. You know what I'm saying? Always promoting. And it's just to see, it's cool to see full circle, man, that you decided to make that happen.
Make it actually bring it to fruition. I mean? Yes, sir.
And one of the cool things also about you, I know you've been married before. You got two marriages.
Yep, this is my second
And
marriage.
I've been able to see both. And
yes, sir.
I just remember everything that you went through. You know what I mean? Then you met your current wife.
Which is a blessing.
A blessing.
A blessing.
And it's crazy. You know, me as, you know, obviously I understand the power of a good woman because, you know, my wife helped me get to where I need to be, you know. Man. And people understand, man, when you got a good woman that got your back, that uplift you, that push you to the next level.
Let's talk about
it. You know what I'm saying? And I literally seen the shift and like your mindset when you met her, bro. Man. And to, you know, in a relationship to her become your fiance to now a loving wife. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about what she done for you.
Gotcha.
You know,
man, I always tell people the person you choose to spend your life with will make or break you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like for real, for real. And like I said, even though this is my second marriage, I would never even change the first one, how it turned out or whatever, because it was a great lesson. It helped me be the man that I am today.
Absolutely.
You know, so my current wife, man, what I value so much about her is she poured into me. You know, like even when I didn't believe in myself, like we all have doubting moments, you know, she was still pouring into me like, no, we can do this. You can do this. You know what I mean? Da-da-da-da. And that's what I value from a woman. You know what I mean? The person that who's pouring into you when you fall down, who's there to pick you up, who's there to motivate you and just keep you going, you know?
Absolutely.
And she was that woman for me, and it still is that woman for me. You know, I wouldn't be in a position that I'm in today without her. You know what I mean? People like, oh, Ted, you did a great job. No, we did a great job. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. You know
right. Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
Come on now. Like, man, I have a amazing wife. You know what I'm saying? We have an amazing family. Yeah. And like I said, she just really helped strategize me because I've just been the go-getter. Like no matter what, I'm going to get, I'm moving. I may run into a brick wall, but I'm going to slide over and go, you know what I'm saying? Keep going. She was a strategic person like, no, maybe we should do it this way. Have you thought about this? You know? And that made the difference. Like that's what I needed in order to have a full circle thought process, you know, instead of just going, which I had been doing for years. Hey, there's a smarter way of doing this, you know? And that's where you know what I'm saying, I thank my wife and she contributes a lot to our success, my success, and what we got going on.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
So,
no, I seen it, bro. I think it was 2017 when you decided to go, was that when you decided to go full-time at the barbershop?
Yep, I believe so, yep.
Yeah, and I remember you changed the way you pay boo for it. You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know, I remember like a little something like, okay, I see you, bro. You know, I see it. You know, and I can just tell, bro. Like, I seen
you seen that change.
I seen that change, and I started seeing the level up. You know what I'm saying?
Which is super dope.
Which was awesome. You know,
man, a blessing.
So 2017, you know, you grinding. Then 2018, you decide not to only open one business, but two businesses at the same time. A barbershop. And your cocktail lounge. Yep. How was that process for you, man? How did you know it was time to make that move as an entrepreneur?
You know what? I think the universe talks to people. Like I don't do anything prior because you know you got people in your ear. Like even when I was at Groom Theory, people was like, "I tell you, you should open your own shop." You know, you got a great clientele. And I'm like, nah. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm still soaking up the information. I'm still on a platform. I mean, I'm still enjoying what we got going on. And mind you, I had been a barber for a long time before I ever got to your shop. You know, so people try to rush the process, you know? And I'm like, nah. At this point in time, me and you, we traveling. We at BarberCon. We, you know what I'm saying, Bronner Brothers, we going around. And I had never experienced that. Like, remember I told you, this is the first time I've been in a barbershop. So I hadn't been to any hair shows, anything like that. So I'm just learning, soaking it up, and just, because I want to be the best I can be, you know?
For sure.
So when I made the decision, it was just like the universe was like, okay, baby. You know what I'm saying? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you know what? It might be time. My wife's like, hey, baby, it might be time. You know? I'm like, okay, cool. So that's when I hit you up. I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I want to sit down with you, you know? Meet me at because I don't believe in texting. I don't believe in calling. If you my partner, we've been working together, let's sit down and have a conversation. Let me see how you feel about it, too. You know, like, hey, Ted, you might not be ready. You know what I mean? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? You know? And that's what I value. I value people's opinion, especially people that I care about and the people I look up to before I make a decision. You know what I mean? I'm going to listen to everything, you know? Even if I feel like I know it already, I'm going to still listen because that one small thing that you might have said that I didn't want paying attention to, I got to pick up on it. So when we sat down with the cigar lounge, we sitting back, I'm like, hey, we vibing. I'm like, hey, you know, I think I want to open my own shop. He was like, okay, cool. You know, boom. And it was nothing but positive vibes and positive energy. So I'm like, okay, I'm on to something. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm cool, you know? Boom. So, man, that was super dope. And like I said, that's why, like I said, made the decision and the universe just spoke to me. You know? They just said, Tay, it's time. You know?
Okay, first and foremost, I think I told a story before on the podcast before, man, and it got a crazy type of, like, positivity back. I remember that, and I appreciate you for doing that, too, man. Just want to let you know from man to man because, like, I was new to a business. I mean, I've been in business for 3 years. You know, I knew one day one of my barbers was going, and how would I feel? Like, just my ego and this and that. But when you told me, bro, like, it was so much joy that came from that because I was just so excited for you. Like, because I know you got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people
it was a genuine connection. You know? It's like, hey, you my bro, you got it. I see you. Customer service is good. You know what I'm saying? When we jamming, bro, you got it. I think you're off to a good start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And that's what I got from
like,
you know
what I mean? It was dope. I was like, man, I remember, and I remember, like, everybody was like, man, how you feel about Tez getting on the shop? Like, I feel great. This is awesome right here. Do you understand? Like, that's the problem most men, bro. People, period. They don't have that abundance mindset. You know what I'm saying? Everything about me, like selfish.
The selfish and the pride. You know what I mean? All that stuff is crazy because, like I said, I'm not a prideful person at all. You know, like too much pride will kill you. You know, and like I said, they even go to the testament of what we had spoke about a little bit before. You know, the podcast, like we had a little brief conversation. I'm like, hey, I got a testimony out of this world. You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, it was nothing but good vibes. Like when I told you, it was like cool, and you were very supportive. You know what I mean? And that's what meant the world to me.
Yeah, for sure. So I know you say you opened a barbershop. I remember you was like, yeah, I'm about to open my own cocktail lounge. Now, how was that process like? Did you know you want to open two at the same time like that? Or it just came, you know what, I'm going to open this one, I'm going to talk to someone over here. They say I get this too, let's make it happen.
I always wanted to open both of them at the same time. You know, like I was like, hey, like I said, I'm a go-getter. I'm not going to put nothing on the back burner. You know, if I'm going to do something, and people thought I was crazy. Like, I went from a time where everyone doubted me. You know, like even with a car or something, I might be looking at a car online and say on YouTube, just researching it, right? Because I'm a big researcher. I was like, oh, I want to get that car one day. People like, man, you crazy. Dude. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that car. You're like, you serious? That car costs how much? You know what I'm saying? And when I really started doing it, when I got that car and pulled up on them, they were like,
damn, bro,
this dude different. You know what I mean? Like, he different. So I went from a long period of time where people doubted me to the point, at this point now, nobody doubts me. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to show results every time.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, if I want it, I'm going to go get it. My partner, like, I used to have Maserati back in the day, right? My partner said, oh, man, I want a Maserati. I looked at him dead in his eyes. I said, no, you don't. He said, what you say that for? I said, because it ain't outside. And it resonated with him real tough. He was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, if you want it, you'll have it. You know what I mean? Like, you do whatever it takes to go get it. You know what I mean? Like, simple as that. And to this day, this was years ago, he always tell me about that conversation. He's like, bro, Tez really hit me in the gut with that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you don't want it. You know what I mean? If you wanted to be outside. So when I said I wanted to open two businesses, of course, people thought I was crazy. They was like, this guy is nuts. Why opening one business is hard enough? You know what I mean? Why would you want to open two? You know, I just had the vision. I'm like, I can do this. And I bet it on myself. I didn't have any business partners. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm betting it all on myself. I exhausted every fund I had. I was like, look, I'm taking personal loans, business loans. I'm getting it in because I'm betting on myself. I know it's going to work. You know? So, and I got off my butt and I did what it took. You know what I'm saying? The customer service, my personality is what led to that success. You know, like, even now, I call my bar Cheers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody know your name. You know what I'm saying? When you come in, it's a great family atmosphere. I'm one of the longest running bars in St. Louis County. We've been open for almost 6 years.
Right,
you know,
right.
The average lifespan on a bar is 2 to 3.
Yeah, quick,
you know, quick.
Closing down.
In and out. And especially after COVID, we've seen a lot of people pop up. And a lot of people shut down, you know, because they don't have that connection with their clients. They don't have that customer service that make people want to keep coming back and feel comfortable keep coming back, you know. So that repeat business, the atmosphere that I create, that family atmosphere is why we're still here. You know, so it was just in me to make that situation work, you know. But I had always wanted to open 2 businesses. I always wanted to have a cocktail lounge. I always wanted to have a barbershop, you know. So those things just really blended in and worked for me.
That's so dope, man. That's so dope. So as a business owner, now you're probably growing more as a business owner, entrepreneur. You're realizing like you different, right? Yeah. And that everybody's not like you.
Right.
So when you open,
that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
It is.
Yeah,
so when you opened your barbershop and your cocktail lounge, what were some of the challenges that you had when it came to building that business and hiring people and hiring the right people for your business and all that good stuff?
It was a lot of challenges.
A
lot of challenges. With the lounge, the challenges were just getting the liquor licenses, and you know what I'm saying, and getting the inspections and different things like that. Like so I had to get 3 different liquor licenses.
Yeah, 3 different?
I have 3 liquor licenses. And I break them down real quick. State of Missouri say you got to have a liquor license, right? And you get that, you can sell liquor anywhere in the state of Missouri, right? So I found my home in Florissant, Missouri, right? Which I opened my brick and mortar in Florissant. Florissant said we got our own liquor license. You know, boom. And Florissant is within St. Louis County. So St. Louis County said we got our own liquor license. So I had to get 3 liquor licenses, one for the state of Missouri, one for the city of Florissant, and one for the county of St. Louis County. So all these liquor licenses I got to get, you know, got to get all the inspections, the three compartment sinks, you know, this, that, and the third. That was the biggest hurdle of, you know what I'm saying, getting my tobacco license, you know, getting all these things. So it took time, but I was smart because I had my lease contingent on me being able to get everything.
Smart.
You know, so if I couldn't obtain a liquor license for whatever reason, the lease was null and void, you know. So I tried to be as smart as I could, you know what I mean, coming into it. But like I said, it's just and good help is hard to find, you know. I think any business owner can contest to this, you know. You know, just being in a bar, you have I talked to a very successful bar owner in Philadelphia, right? And he told me, he said, look, you're always gonna have loss. Always. It's only one of you, and you got multiple people working for you, outnumbered. You know, somebody's always going to come up with a smarter way to try to steal from you. You know, so you're always going to have loss, but you just got to try to control it. You know, control your loss. So I've had people steal from me. You know what I'm saying? Like finding trustworthy people and people that have the same mindset as me, just hard working. I'm a grind until I, you know what I'm saying, come up. It's hard to find. You know, people are always trying to take the shortcut, this, that, and the third. So that was another thing that was hard. You know what I'm saying? Just a huge hurdle, just finding good people, good workers, people that just come to work and want to work. You know? So that was a huge thing. With the barbershop, like I said, just good workers. People that have the same values as me. You know, they want to create the same atmosphere as me. You know, just great customer service, everybody go through problems. But why would you bring them to work? You know, like I've been in situations with shop owners where they would bring their personal problems to work. You know, they come in slamming doors. My customer like, they okay? You know,
they cool. Like, what's going on?
I'm always happy. I'm always bubbly. And people always say that, but I'm literally not. You know what I mean? Like I go through the same issues everybody else go through in life. So, but I always bring that chipper, that great customer service, that great atmosphere, positive energy no matter what. So it's hard to find people that match that because we're the 1%ers. You know, it's only a small percentage of us that's going to do that. So that was some of the biggest challenges that I went through. Like I said, just getting through inspections and different things like that, and also finding like-minded people like myself.
For sure. Now, being a serial entrepreneur, was it kind of hard? I know how it is, man. You know, I got 3 girls, wife, business. The hardest thing, man, for me was to find balance. Now, how did you find balance? You know, trying to juggle the 2. Newborn kids, new father, new husband. How do you find balance?
The biggest thing a successful person sacrifices time. Time with your loved ones, time with your wife, time with your kids, time whatever. So I didn't have a balance at first.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason my first marriage didn't survive. You know what I mean? Because I was so much in grind mode, and she was like, well, what about me? And I'm like, well, if you want me sitting at the house holding your hand, the lights turned off, you know what I'm saying? That's on you, but I'm not going. You know what I mean?
Gotta go get it.
And she didn't understand what was going on, right? She was just like, okay, what about me?
Yeah.
So, but I'm grinding for us. You know what I mean? Like, just give me some space, let me go, boom.
Right.
So, time and the sacrifice is another blessing I contribute to my wife as well, right?
Yeah.
She knows who she's with. Yeah. You know what I mean? My wife busy too, like two busy people, you got to understand what's going on. Understanding the communication between two busy people, it got to happen. So we sit down and I tell everybody like this, if I'm gone all day, I'm bringing the bag home. You know what I'm saying? and if I'm gone from the morning to the night, I come home and just put the money on the nightstand. Boom. So she wake up and see it like, oh, that's what he doing. It would be different if I was gone all day on the grind and I just came home with nothing. The proof is in the pudding. Like I said, it's all about showing and proving results. I'm not staying up this late or working this hard for nothing. I'm bringing results home. For sure. And as long as your partner sees those results, it should be an understanding right there.
Absolutely.
It takes, I tell my wife, I'm not easy to be with. I'm not easy to love. I'm not easy to do none of that because a lot of times I done talked all day, gave good energy to everybody. When I get home, I'm out.
Tapped.
I'm tapped. I don't want to talk.
You've been giving.
Yeah, I don't want to hug. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to lay back and have my own space.
Right.
And it takes a strong person to understand that. Yeah. So like I said, the person you choose to be with will make or break you. So it's all about that understanding. So I haven't been that great. Well, now as some hit some milestones and accomplish some things, I'm able to kind of sit back now and be like, okay, let me, reconstruct that. Like, even with kids, like, you can work hard, but at some point, they're going to realize that you're not there. They're going to start resenting you, start feeling some type of way. So you don't want it to get to that point. With me, like I started a while back, I'm like, okay, I really got to get with my kids, and really jam it out. So I've been very intentional on what I've been doing probably for the last half a decade, like, hey, make sure I spend time with my kids, make sure they know I'm here, make sure they know why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's all for the greater good.
For sure. That's dope, man, because like, I remember I was the same way when I first opened my first business, man. I was just grinding.
Go.
Then when I opened my second location, it was like, I'm really grinding.
Go.
And like now, as a barber, I work 3 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm peaceful, like multiple streams of income. I'm able to spend more time with the kids.
Your way up
I worked out grinding, you know what I'm saying?
Today.
And how, now is your schedule, I know you was going crazy at first. How's your schedule now to find balance with the kids and everything? Do you still work the same amount of hours, same amount of days?
Nah. Like I said, Sundays and Mondays, of course, for barbers. A lot of them is a no-go. Some people go.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that anymore. I mean, I'm not working Sundays and Mondays at all. Those are really my time where I spend with the kids, because I'm manning during the week, making it happen. So my Sundays and Mondays, we getting it in. We Chuck E. Cheese, we everywhere. Something's going on. Dave and Buster's, whatever the case may be. Or just sitting at home, just loved up. Whatever the case may be. So, that's the time. Like I said, even with barbering, I still cut a full day. Tuesday through Saturday. I start at 10 a.m. Hard stop at 7 p.m. Hour lunch break between 12 and 1.
For sure.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Just easy peasy. Just keep it going. Like I said, I'm blessed to have a great clientele that fills up that time. So like I said, I'm getting it. And now, like I said, with me building the barbershop at home where I'm at now, I think it's really dope because my children get to see me.
See it.
You know what I mean? Like, you see them peeking around the corner, what's up, Dad? Hey, you know what I'm saying? So it's super cool. So they actually get a chance to spend time with me while I'm working. And Lord's will soak up that passion for what I'm doing. And they can continue to keep the barbering stuff alive.
And so with the club, do you have to be there all the time with the club too? Or how does that work?
The club can run itself. I got great bartenders, great waitresses, that make it happen. So I don't have to be there often. I'm going to check in the beginning before even anything crack off. Make sure we got our inventory. Make sure we got everything going. And I can go home, go to sleep. And I got the cameras. I might peek on the cameras. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Just make sure everything's cool. And, I might just, they'll text me at the end of the night, this is what we did. They'll send me a picture at the end of the day slip or whatever the case may be. But it wasn't always like that. So, like, the first time I left the business, I was terrified. And it was for a couples trip. We went to Miami. Every year we go to Miami in February around my birthday for a couples trip, right? And the first time we got invited to the couple trip, my wife, she was really on me. I really want to go.
Yeah.
I really want to go.
Yeah.
I really want to go. I'm like, hold on. I just started these businesses. I'm
can't.
not for sure.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah.
You know? And she just kept pressing the issue. So I was like, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
But I'm terrified. You know what I mean? So long and behold, the building didn't burn down.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Business was just fine.
Blessings.
And it was kind of crazy because my PayPal and my Cash App was ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I got, you know what I'm
Still
saying?
booming.
Almost overspending
Right,
while I was
right.
on vacation.
Right.
But it took her to pull me away from the business and say, hey, you don't have to be there all the time. You know,
Yeah.
you can put your work orders in, you know what I'm saying, what people want, you expect out of them, and keep on rolling.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah.
I try to pop in. I still monitor, you know,
Right,
but
right.
I'm not there all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so I'm gonna pivot to something else, man. I remember because this guy, like, during COVID, I remember we had a conversation. Right after COVID, we had a conversation, and I remember my wife and I, we decided to build a home.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we got on the phone, and you told me that you found a spot too. Found a spot, and we were talking about the home ownership, like, yeah, man, and just to see, I know you you bought that first home that was like dope. I remember on social media you put Sessions Avenue, you know what I'm saying?
Had our street.
Awesome, bro. And then like maybe a year or two later, I don't know how long later,
a year
later, just a year later, you purchased your dream home.
Yep.
Speak about that, man, because that's dope. A lot of people don't know what it took. Share your testimony on that, brother. Yeah, make that happen.
I got you, bro. So I had a home. We had a 5-bedroom home in Florissant, right? And I wanted something bigger. You know, even though it was 5 bedrooms, the bedrooms were kind of small. Yeah. And our kids are huge. My baby, he was 10 pounds when he was born. Yeah. Our oldest, he's 6'5", played Division I football. You know, so I'm like, we need bigger. You know what I'm saying? Rooms. Right. So I found a home. And it was a blessing that we found a home because I told my contractor we were remodeling a home, right? Yeah. And I told my contractor, hey, I'm looking for a new house. Yeah. And he was like, okay, well, I got a friend and he's selling a house. Yeah. I'm like, selling a house? Like, what kind of house? He's like, it's big.
Yeah. It's big.
I'm like, it's big. I'm like, what? How many bedrooms? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, give me some information, some context. You know what I'm saying? What's going on?
What's going on?
So he hit me up. He was like, hey, y'all want to see it? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? Let's go over there and check it out. You know, end up being a very powerful, motivating Black person in the community. It was his home. His wife, she was a pastor. You know, she got a brand new job in Las Vegas. And he hadn't even put the house on the market yet. You know, it was just between friends talking, hey, I need to sell my house. Right. And I came in with my family and we hit it off instantly. You know, he was like, man, I don't care what's going on. I want to sell this house to you. You know, I'm like, this is dope. You know, this is crazy. Beautiful home. Almost 7 bedrooms, 3 acres of land. You know what I'm saying? In the cut, it was ducked off. Super dope. So we ended up making that happen. God bless us with that. Yeah. And so there was a house. There's a house in Florissant it's a big, beautiful house, right? Yeah. And I had been admiring the house for 8 years. Like I would just literally drive past the house like, this house is dope. You know, one day I'm gonna have me something like that. Right. And the crazy part about it is before me and my wife, my current wife, we got together, she would admire the same house. Yeah. She would pack our kids up in the car, drive past the house like, this house is beautiful. Yeah. So when we got together, we would admire it together. Yeah. So had this house, like I said, we just bought the house. Everything's cool. Yeah. I bought it for $375, right? Yeah. At this point in time, it's a seller's market. The market's going crazy. COVID got everything going nuts, right? So long story short, I dropped my son off at daycare one morning, and I said, I'm going to drive past that big house one more time. You know what I mean? I'm going to just play with my wife and look where I'm at, you know, boom. Right. So I drove past it. I sent her a picture and sent her the address, like, look where I'm at. Yeah. She looked it up on Zillow. She's like, babe, it's for sale. And I'm like, for sale? Yeah. She said, oh, here we go. You know what I'm saying?
You know the vibes.
You know the vibes.
You know the manifesto.
Man, make a long story short, bro. I put my house on the market, and it sold in 19 days. I bought it for $375. I sold it for $479.
Man, that's
1 year, I made over $130,000 off this house. So I just rolled it into the new house as the deposit, down payment, and we end up, you know what I'm saying, getting that situation. Yeah. But the testimony behind that is I was 32 at the time. Yeah, you know, this is $1 million house. Right. So there used to be laws and rules in the book where Black people couldn't buy homes in suburbs. Right. I mean, couldn't live in certain communities or whatever the case may be. And even though those laws don't exist anymore, those smudge marks are still in the book. You know, so these people in underwriting are older, you know what I'm saying, people that come from that generation that might be Caucasian, might be whatever, but they ain't really too fond of something like that going on. Yeah. Plus, I'm an entrepreneur, so they looking like, what? How you make the money? How can you afford this? He a barber?
Right,
you got $1 million house?
Yeah.
So I went through a very tedious comb through process on getting it. You know, they ask you all these questions. The still questions like, what was this? You know what I'm saying? On your credit, what was that? You know, they asking 1,000,001 questions. Yeah. And to make a long story short, after I bought the house, they wanted to see me have $70,000 in reserve. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So just money sitting in the bank after we close this deal, that's what we want to see. Yeah. So remember, I told you I sold my house. Yeah, yeah. And I sold my house to a lady that she was relocating from California. Right, right. But she hadn't moved here yet. So I was renting my house back from her. They let you rent it back from her until she gets here. Okay. Call and say, hey, I haven't closed on my deal yet. I know you're not here. Can I, you know what I'm saying, pay you rent until I close on my deal? Yeah, yeah. So all my stuff is on packed up on U-Haul. The entire house on 2 big U-Haul trucks, right? Yeah. What was supposed to be a 3-day closing process was turned into like 16 days. Everything was on the back of the truck for 16 days. Deep freezers, defrosting, everything. It was getting crazy. And what happened was the day we're supposed to close the deal, my loan agent called me. He said, hey, my manager came in and he scrubbed the numbers. Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean scrub the numbers? He was like, he scrubbed the numbers. I said, well, what does that mean for me? Yeah. I know we told you need 70, but you need 42,000 more in reserves, not 4,200, 42,000. Yeah. And I'm like, well, when do I need it by? Yeah. Say you need it by tomorrow.
By one day?
One day.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, crusher. You know what I mean? I'm like, I sold my house. Yeah. We have nowhere to live. Yeah. We can't close on a new house till we come up with $42,000. Yeah. So long story short, I'm pacing around the room. I don't know what we gonna do. Yeah, yeah. My wife's on the phone talking to him like, hey, is there anything we can do? And he was like, pretty much come up with the 42.
Yeah. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's gonna get us through. So I'm walking around the room. I'm like, pride to the side. I said, you know what? You never know what someone has. Yeah. You know, so I call my boy Willis. And Willis, he runs Sticks and Stones in Memphis, which is kind of like Smoke Session here, you know what I'm saying, in St. Louis. And I called him, I said, bro, you know, I've been trying to buy this house. You know, I ran into a roadblock. You know, I need 42,000. Do you got it? Yeah. He said, bro, I just refinanced my house. I got 42,000 coming on Wednesday. You can have it. Bro, broke me down to tears. I'm like, this is sick, bro.
Won't he do it? Won't
he do it? So I hung the phone up. I called my dad. Yeah. I said, Dad, you know, I've been working on this house. You know, I ran into a roadblock, man. I need 42,000. Yeah. He said, son, meet me at the bank in the morning. Long story short, I met my dad at the bank the next morning. He wrote me a cashier's check. He gifted the 42,000 to me. Yeah. I put the money in the bank. We closed on the house. Yeah. A week after I closed on the house, I gave him his 42,000 back because they just wanted to see in reserves. It wasn't money to spend. It wasn't money to do. It was just reserves. Yeah. But that's the huge testimony, bro. Some people don't have anybody to give them $10. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then not to mention, if I got 42,000, why would I give it to you? Right. You know, I had 2 people in my circle that were blessed enough and willing and able to give me $42,000 on a whim. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was the testimony behind it, bro. Yeah. Bro, people like, Tez, you did it. I'm like, no, I did not. You know what I'm saying? I was out. You know what I'm saying? God did. You know what I'm saying? I was out, bro. So like I said, without having the blessings of God, without having great people in my circle, without planting those good seeds, having that good face card with people, bro, I wouldn't have been in a situation I'm in today. You know what I mean? It took a group effort, and they didn't think I was able to do it. You know, that's why they put that stipulation there, like, nah, we're going to block him. You know what I mean? He ain't going to be able to come over $42,000. You know, by tomorrow, that's over with. And when we did it, when God blessed us, there wasn't enough they can do, bro.
That's amazing, bro.
You know what I mean? Bro, crazy, man.
So, so I remember you saying 8 years, so you manifested that.
Manifested. You know I'm big on it.
Speak on that, because people don't understand how big manifesting is, man. Like, before you even become it, you have to manifest that.
You got to manifest it, bro. I tell people, you never know what you like. Yeah. You never know what you want. You know, whatever it is, you got to touch it. You got to manifest. You got to see it. You got to start believing it. You know, before this situation, even with the house, even that house, I drive around St. Louis in general. I go to Ladue.
Yeah.
I go everywhere and just look at big, beautiful homes. Like just just motivating myself. You know what I'm saying? Just manifesting. And I watch a guy named N.S. Yillman on YouTube. And even when people were in COVID, when we were closed in on homes, I'm watching multi-million-dollar mansion reviews. You know, like just motivating myself. Like, I felt like they had the upper hand during COVID because when everything shut down, they didn't have to leave their homes for anything. The movie theater shut down, they had a movie theater at their house. The pool shut down, they had a pool at their house. The gym, the basketball court, they had an upper hand. I'm like, I want that for my family. You know what I'm saying? I want that. So that was the motivation behind it. And like I said, I think every kid aspires to have a Lamborghini, right? You grow up like, I want a Lamborghini. But you might not like it when you get it. So you got to touch that. You know what I mean? So when you go to Miami, Vegas, you might want to rent one for a day. You know what I mean? And roll that thing. You may fall in love with, like, this is everything I thought it was going to be. You may say, it's sit too low, hurt my back. You know what I mean? Or it ain't as fast as I thought it was going to be. You know? You have to just touch things, manifest things. If that's what you say you want, test it out. You know, see what you can do with it. You know, so that's big. Like I said, just manifesting things is one of the biggest things I've ever done in life. Like I said, just even car dealerships. I go to the car dealership when I know I couldn't afford a thing on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would just be like, you know what, that car is dope. You know what I mean? And just manifest myself doing that, and it turned into reality. You know, so
that's dope. Because I remember, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I remember we was in Atlanta. You know what I'm about to say. We call it, for y'all don't know, man, we call it Tez P. Diddy, man. I'm talking about my boy, he like, yeah, we go to Atlanta, we gonna do it big. My man rented the Lambo, you know what I mean?
Man, we went crazy.
I didn't even ask no question, like, I didn't ask how much it was. I like, hey, that's dope as hell.
But do you know where that came from?
Well, no, I don't.
So look, remember the first time we went to Atlanta, we had the minivan. You know what I'm saying? We had the minivan. We go to Atlanta, and we stay at a little hotel. You know what I'm saying? We had all type of issues. I ain't gonna tell y'all about what hey.
I was trying to be economical, man. I was trying to be economical, brother. You know what I'm saying?
So we in this thing. So the first time we went to Atlanta, it wasn't that enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Even when we went to the club, I went to a hookah bar, no lie. And it wasn't a soul in the hookah bar. We pull up in the minivan. You know what I'm saying? We sit down, try to smoke some hookah. And the dude was like, you can't sit right there. That's reserved. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. So I get up and move down a little bit. I'm like, can I get a hookah right here? He's like, all right, man, you can't sit right there. That's reserved.
Decline everything.
Decline, bro. I'm like, damn. So I get up, then we go to Boogaloo. We ain't got no booth or nothing. We just kind of like in the aisle, you know what I mean, in the way. I'm like, you know what I learned from that situation, if you ain't got motion in Atlanta, if you ain't got the Lambo, the Ferrari, something, you just in the way. You know what I'm saying?
In the way.
So that's what inspired me the second time. So when we go back this time, we going to be respected. I was like, we gonna be respected. So I maxed my little credit card out. I'm swiping. I said, we doing it big. We doing it big. I don't care what was going on. Bro, night and day experience. Night and day. When the compound was open, Mansion Elon, we went to Taboo 2 to the Rocco concert.
Everything.
We didn't have to pay for parking. We didn't have to do nothing. They was like, park that thing right here in the front.
Oh, y'all go straight in?
Straight in.
People look at you differently, bro.
Look at you differently. And that's what I tell people. That's another reason. Okay, so piggybacking off that, right? People like, Ted, you bought this big house. You got nice cars. These are conversation pieces. You know, these... You can pull up to a car show in a Honda Accord. Well, nobody said a word to you. They're like, okay, look at this guy. You know what I'm saying? Honda Accord guy. You know what I'm saying? You pull up in a Lambo, you're automatically... the Lambo people's best friend. You know, like, hey, man, come over here.
Come over here, man. Come talk to us.
Talk to us. Me having a meeting in my house, inviting somebody to my house, they like, this dude mean business. He's serious. You know what I mean? So these are conversation pieces that open doors that I normally wouldn't be able to open. You know? So
talk to him, man.
Yeah, people, bro, having certain things open certain doors. You know what I mean? So you might want to obtain something nice. You might want to throw a suit on. You might want to dress nice, put a collar shirt on. It will open conversations for people that would normally not talk to you. You know? So you got to put yourself in position to win. You know, and I'm big on that. And that's the first thing my dad told me, even when I came fresh out of Barber college. always put yourself in position to win. When you're trying to build your clientele, it's a summer day on a Saturday. You can hit the park all day, but you ain't making no money in the park.
For sure.
Be behind your chair, you know? Right. And I had a lot of friends like, hey, Tez, we ain't got no clients. We finna go to the park. I'm still behind my chair waiting on one person, you know
what I'm saying?
And that was the difference between me and other people. I always stayed down. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't jump from shop to shop or whatever was popping shop. I stayed where I was, you know, and stayed down.
And made it happen.
Made it happen and built my clientele from there. So the piggyback manifesting is huge. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when we went to Atlanta, I learned my lesson. I'm like, look, never again.
Well, the thing was, I just remember, I wanted you guys to get that vibe. You guys had to see it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Now we go down in the minivan, we had to be economical about everything. I was, you know what I mean? But we had to make we was in there, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, do they know you won the Her Show in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I talked about it, you know what I'm saying?
Havo had the connections out of this world, bro. It was dope. And like I said, just a little pivot.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a dope platform. You know what I mean? Because you knew everybody.
Yeah, a lot
I didn't know nobody. You know what I mean? Like, I knew of some of these people, but when I got there, hey, whoa, what's up? Havo's the man. Havo's the man.
Hey, man, I try to stay humble, B. You know what I'm saying?
So I was just soaking that in and soaking that energy in, bro. I just thought it was so dope. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this guy won the show. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know his name. He got Groom Theory crack. We got our Groom Theory shirts on.
We all rocking. Everybody like, man, like.
I'm representing to the fullest. You know, representing us, even with the Lambo. They like, hey, we got a Barber, he got a Lambo.
What? He got the Lambo? You know what I mean?
I never forget Sonny. We was in there, Sonny. He was like, Tez got the what? I'm like, yeah, it's parked outside.
Parked outside right now. You want to go check it out?
Then, hey, not to mention, we was at the Holiday Inn Express. Didn't nothing match.
Nothing, man.
But we was living.
We was in there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that was so funny, dog. The valet, he was like, the dude, he was on the car. He was like, man, I'm going to drive it. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I remember that too.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
He was serious about that Lamborghini,
bro.
Parked right in front of the Holiday Inn Express.
Hey, man.
It was not playing.
Right. We had a little baby hotel.
Baby hotel with a whole Lambo.
But we made it happen.
We made it happen, bro. We had good,
that was
good
dope,
memories,
man.
good times.
All them times we went to New York, man. Like,
oh yeah, New York was big.
a vibe, bro.
That was a vibe, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you another story.
What's up, man?
Off that,
What's up?
So, Haven got invited to BarberCon, right? And they pick people from different regions, Midwest, this, that, and the third, right?
Yeah.
So they picked Haven to cut on the stage. I said, this is crazy.
Right.
And I guess the original model you had couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So Haven called me, hey, Tez, you be my model? I'm like,
I'm there.
I'm there. So I had a game plan. Haven never even heard this story. I had a game plan before I even got there. I was like, you know what? I gotta be seen. You know what I mean? I gotta be noticed. You know what I mean? So I said, I'm gonna be the freshest person they seen. You know what I mean? Like and a lot of these barber events, people, they more urban wear, t-shirts, jeans, whatever the case may be. And people don't understand the magnitude of BarberCon. Like, barbers from around the world.
All around the world came, bro.
Meet in one spot from London.
Like everywhere.
Bro. The vendors are crazy. It's just nuts. It's a big event. So Hay was like, I'm gonna cut your hair on the stage. I'm like, bet. So I'm like, I gotta be the cleanest dude in this motherfucker.
Clean.
You know what I'm saying? So I had my suit jacket on, I had my little chains wrapped around my neck.
Zooted and booted.
I had my little Buscemi's on at the time with a little gold lock on the back, And they played Cut It, you know what I'm saying, as we coming up to the stage. So I'm dancing, I'm
live.
Cut It, I'm live. You know what I'm saying? And people was like, who is this dude? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Right.
So I wanted to make my presence felt. And then not to mention, after that, Haven had a podcast that you was on. You know what I mean? Boom. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be the freshest guy in this thing. I'm on the same thing. So I put my blue suit on and I had a gold briefcase. This podcast had nothing to do with me.
Hey, no one know though. You was out there, bro. You was talking, bro. That's why I know, like, man, Tez got it. You know what I'm saying,
bro? So we get to the podcast. They setting Haven up. They like, yeah, Haven, we doing this. And the dude was like, who's the dude in the blue suit? And they invited me to be on the panel. You know what I'm saying? To interview Haven.
Right.
I didn't know what was going on, but I was sitting there on the podcast. Like,
hey, you made it happen, though. You made it happen, though, bro.
But it was all calculated. I'm like, I'm going to put myself in position to win.
For sure.
And it was super dope, man. Just like I said, the platform and the opportunities, people don't take advantage of stuff like that. You know what I mean? They'll let opportunities pass.
Facts.
When every stone needs to be turned over. No matter if it got something under it or not. You need to flip over every stone.
Absolutely.
People don't have that same thought process right now. You know what I mean? Bro. And it's like I said, it's a small percentage of people that do. And I give them credit, give you your flowers, you know? Yeah. But I wasn't going to let an opportunity pass us, you know? That's how I get out, you know? So that's a funny story.
That's funny, man. We got so many memories, bro. We could talk for days about the memories, bro. I want to talk about one of the few last things I want to talk about, because obviously with the cars manifesting, now you bought multiple high-end cars. Yeah. And can you talk to them about how you made a liability into profitability, made it an asset?
Yep. Yeah. So everything in my life has to work for me. Yeah. You know, so I'm big on turning liabilities into assets, right? Yeah. So if I have multiple cars, I can't drive all those cars at one time. Yeah. You know, so I much rather share them, you know what I mean, for a price. Yeah. And allow them to make money instead of just sitting in my garage leaking oil all over the floor. You know, I'm not a selfish person. I love cars, but I'm not in love with cars. You know, so I use them as tools of sources of income. So I'm on Turo, you know what I'm saying? I'm renting these cars out, sharing it, and bringing the experience to people. I never forget a 9-year-old boy rented my Maserati.
To what? You couldn't drive it?
He couldn't drive it. His mom rented it for him. It was his dream to ride in a Maserati. What? And he wanted to take us. It was his birthday.
Yeah, okay.
And he was like, when she pulled up and he jumped out of the car and he was like, "It's a Maserati, Mom." It just blew my mind. You know what I mean? He was like, and she was like, "Yeah, he want me to rent it. You know, he's not going to drive it, of course. You know, I'm riding him and his sister around. They had a day plan, you know, this, that, and the third. He just wanted to ride and be in a Maserati, you know, with his sister. Yeah. And they seen it on Turo, you know, and she was able to get it. Yeah. And that's what they did, you know. So Turo also offers networking that out of this world. Yeah, yeah. People getting off airplanes from all over Texas, Arkansas, everywhere. People coming to rent this car. I rented to the owner of the supplement superstore. Yeah, yeah. He did a big event for all his employees in the Lake of the Ozarks with Flo Rida and Nelly. He rented the Maserati to go down there. Yeah, yeah. Like, I got a chance to talk to him. I noticed who he was because he was a pretty fit guy. Had a supplement super shirt on. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm the owner of supplement superstore." I'm like, "This is cool," you know? Yeah, yeah. Renting my Range Rover for weddings and different things like that. I got invited to my first Arabic wedding. Yeah, I mean, I went to an Arabic wedding based off the guy renting my Range Rover.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he rented it multiple times. He said, "You know, I want to rent it for my wedding." Yeah. He said, "Man, here's the invitation. I would love for you to come." You know, I'm like, "Cool." Yeah, yeah. I get there, super dope experience. You know what I mean? It's super different. It was amazing, bro. And I'm like, I got invited to an Arabic wedding. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is sick.
Because of a car.
Because of a car. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, even met Joey. Yeah, yeah, you know, he rented the Range Rover for a commercial. Yeah, you know, and now it's full circle. You know what I'm saying? Right back around. Yeah. So it opens doors. Like, everything I do is networking because that's the biggest part of our industry is networking. Yeah, for sure, for sure. It ain't about what you know. It's who you know. Yeah, yeah. And those things open doors. And like I said, I'm a people person. I love to talk, you know, customer service, no matter what I'm doing. And that attracts people to me. Yeah, yeah. You know, so yeah, I just try to take everything. Even my dog. Yeah. He at the post office licking stamps. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, you can't be here all day just sitting in this cage. We're going to put you to use. You know what I'm saying?
Cause that's crazy, because I think you was one of the first person I seen like do Turo. I never heard of Turo until I remember you started promoting it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because I wanted to start my own exotic car rental service, right? Because I love cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is going to be dope. And I do it in Atlanta. I do it when I go to Miami. I'm renting Cullinans, whatever, right? So I'm like, I want to do it in an area where we are. Yeah. But I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. How much does it cost to build an app? Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fleet insurance, how much does that cost? You know, I'm like, you know what? They already have a platform for that. You know what I mean? If the wheel ain't broken, don't try to recreate it. Just jump on, you know? So I jumped on, and it's been a dope ever since, you know?
Have you ever had any problems with Turo?
Have I?
The thing is, I'm asking because, like, a lot of people, I'm doing this, but then there's also some
trade-offs.
Some trade, yeah. Talk about the problem that you have.
Oh, Jesus. People just not respecting your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, okay, long story short, when I was buying the house that we have, the $1 million house that we have now, right? when you're going through the process, you can't really spend money.
Right, right.
So a trade-off to getting the house was I had too much debt-to-income ratio, right?
Yeah.
So I had to actually get rid of 2 of my cars in order to get the house because they wanted to clear that debt up.
Right.
So I'm like, forget the cars, get the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the cars later on.
Right.
So I had to get rid of the Maserati and the Range Rover, right? And it was a crazy time, and this will never happen again.
Yeah.
When I got rid of the Range Rover, I only owed like 70-something thousand. They gave me 91 for it.
Okay.
So I walked away with a $13,000 check.
You know what I mean?
Sick. Mind you, I had rented out on Turo the entire time I had it. So I was making income from that. I was able to drive it, enjoy it with my family. Then I got a profit on the back end.
For sure.
So I knew I had to get rid of the Maserati, right? So I was shopping it around to different places, different dealerships, or whatever, trying to get the best profit for it.
Yeah.
So I forgot to take it off Turo. So a guy had rented it. And I'm like, damn, I should have took it off Turo. And you get this gut feeling like something's going to be bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, something's going to go wrong. This guy's going to do something to this car, knowing I got to get rid of it, So sure thing. The guy called me. I lost control, man. I smacked the curb. I bent the wheel underneath the bottom, man. It's bad. I'm like, send me some pictures. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the man sent me pictures. It was all bad. He wrecked the back end of the car.
Yeah.
It was like about $5,000-$6,000 worth of damage.
Yeah.
So Turo is really good at taking care of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So think of Turo not as a rental company. Just think of it as an insurance company.
Yeah.
They're an insurance company that allow you to use their platform to rent cars.
Got you.
So Turo, they give the client an opportunity to take care of it. They're like, hey, you want to take care of it, but if the client doesn't take care of it, Turo won't allow you to rent anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the client, he's like, you know what? Take to whatever shop you want to, I'll get it fixed. You know what I mean? So I'm like, cool. It's great. So I got the car towed back to Jim Butler Maserati where I bought the car from. They fixed the car. Everything was cool. But those are some of the things, that you run into. People have accidents, this, that, and the third. And it almost hindered me from getting the house. You know what I mean? Because I had to get rid of the car and it pushed my timeline back because now the car got to get fixed. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I got to close before a certain date, and you messing my timeline up, So, and it took time because the Maserati's Italian import, They got to ship the stuff from Italy. Some of the stuff they have in the United States, some of it they don't. Yeah. It was just crazy.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So that's, like I said, just people respecting your stuff. Yeah. I've had a car stolen on Turo. My Escalade, gone.
Did you get it back?
No. Did I? They never found it.
They never found it?
Nope. Crazy story. Make it quick.
What?
Yes. I got a brand new Escalade that was stolen on Turo. So I'm telling you, Turo nightmares, all this stuff. So long story short, Turo took care of the car. They paid for the vehicle. Let's get to the end. They paid for the vehicle. I got gap insurance. I got all that. I got everything I need to take care of the vehicle. So everything's cool. It was just an inconvenience, So I rent out the Escalade $300 a day. You know what I'm saying? One day rentals are not normal. I mean, not normal. You know what I mean? People get it for one day, drive it, whatever they're going to do, cool, boom. So a guy came in from Chicago. He rented it for one day. No problem. I'm like, okay, cool. I met the guy. Hey, how you doing? My name's Martez. And the only weird part about it was he brought it back early. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even have it for half a day. He just brought it back early. I'm like, that's weird, But anyway, a family rented the Escalade the next day to go to Branson, Missouri. So they taking a family trip, husband, wife, kids, this, that, and the third. So he pick it up. They go to Branson. He said they go to the Airbnb, drop all their stuff off. They go into, they hungry. They go to a restaurant. They sitting down and eating. He said 5 minutes after them sitting down and eating, he see the Escalade drive past the door, going down the street. So he called me. It's 4th of July weekend. I'm picking my son up in Chicago. Mr. Session, somebody just stole the truck. I'm like, what do you mean somebody just stole the truck? He's like, man, it's gone. They just rolled right past us. I said, what'd you do? Did you leave it running? Is the key in the car? Like, what happened? He said, the doors were locked and the key's in my pocket right now. I'm like, I didn't believe him at first. I'm like, bro, you lying to me. There's no way that the car wasn't running. He ain't got the key or whatever. Yeah. He was telling the truth. What happened was the guy that rented it before him, he duplicated the key. He made a copy of the key, which is there's a box you can get from GM. Yeah. They're only supposed to have it at the dealerships, which helped them recreate keys. Yeah. And it's a signal. Like if you have a key fob in your car, the key fob is sending signals to your car whether you know it or not. Right. You know what I mean? Because when you walk up to the car door opens up, the lights come on, this, that, and the third. So it's constantly sending signals. Yeah. And there's a box that can take that signal and redo the key. Yeah. And you don't need a key. All you need is that box and you got the key. Yeah. So They recreated the key. When they were in the restaurant, he used that recreated key to steal a vehicle. You know, so these are some of the things I ran into, you know, during Turo. Like I said, Turo took care of everything, but it's still time consuming. You know, I was supposed to go take my kids to Legoland that weekend. I was supposed to use my own truck. I had to rent another truck. You know what I mean? $700 just to go. It was just a tedious, I got to come up with all this paperwork, this, that, and the third to get the process done, but you run into those kind of things, you know.
So it could be a nightmare.
It can be a nightmare, you know. It can be a nightmare. So I say the good outweighs the bad, even though I've had a vehicle stolen, but the income is still good, you know. And like I said, as long as you have the proper things in place, as long as you stand on business, without gap insurance, I'd have been in trouble. You know what I mean? Without the proper insurance through Turo, I'd have been in trouble. And you don't have to use your own personal insurance. Turo is the insurance company, so I'd have to make a claim with my own personal insurance company or none of that. But it's just the inconvenience and the time consumption that you have to go through in order to get those things taken care of. So it's a great thing, but like I said, bad things can happen.
I see. Mm-hmm. So lastly, man, what advice can you give to the up and coming entrepreneurs, man, that could maybe help them out, that they don't got to go through the same things that you possibly went through? What couple gems you will drop off to them?
I would say consistency is key.
You know, absolutely.
Consistency in any way, shape, or form will always give you progression. You know, whether you're in the gym, you know what I'm saying, being consistent in the gym, when you don't feel like going to the gym, get up and still go. For sure. When you don't feel like cutting your day going crazy, cut it up. You know what I mean? Like, work through those issues, and once you're able to work through those issues, you'll find success. You know, consistency, manifestation, and just putting the work, doing the work. Work when you feel like you're not making progress, keep working. Even when you don't feel like you're making progress, keep working. It's gonna come. I'm telling you. People tend to give up, or people tend to look at the monetary gain of certain things all the time. For sure. It's not about the money. You know what I mean? My philosophy about money is 1 minute you got a lot, 1 minute you don't. Money come and money goes. You know what I mean? There's no way you can hold on to it.
Just,
you know,
just a tool.
Just a tool. You know what I mean? So do things that you are passionate about. Do things that you love to do. You know, people look at 18-wheelers. I'm going to get an 18-wheeler. They make a lot of money. Right. But as soon as something goes wrong, you ready to quit. Because you had no original intention or passion with 18-wheeler or trucking. You know, get into what you're passionate about. Stick with it. And the longer you do it, the better you'll become and the money will come. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't start off as amazing barbers. You know, we started off as mediocre, not so great barbers. But we stuck with it, sharpened our skills, and the money came, the value came. You know, so that's what I tell people, bro. Consistency, manifest, and do something that you're passionate about.
Absolutely. That's real right there. Then lastly, man, what's next for Mr. Martez session, man? What's next, Mr. Businessman Entrepreneur?
Man, you know what? Like I said, I've recently retired from shop ownership. I mean, we had talked about that. You know, I built my own personal oasis private barbershop within my, you know what I'm saying, my home. My clients, they really loving it, you know, because I really I'm able to really just create that atmosphere for them and relax and that kind of different thing. And another reason is I didn't open a big like mega shop because like, you know, my plans, I told you my plans, I was going to open this big, nothing but all sweet shop. We don't have a lot of barber colleges anymore. You know what I mean? Like cosmetology school, so we're not pumping out new people like that, you know? So I'm like, wait a minute, how am I gonna fill all these suites? And we got all the same people that I've been dealing with. You know what I mean? I need some new blood. You know what I'm saying? You're a fool. So my plan is hopefully within the next year, Lord's will, within the next year, 2 years, I want to open a barber college, you know, and share that passion that I have with other people, you know, and teach them, you know what I'm saying? And Haven already on the ball with that, you know. He's teaching people, you know what I mean, just mentoring people and really doing that. And like I said, I want to bring that on a major scale so I can help my friends fill up their shops. You know?
That's dope, man. So, hey, man. Education is key. You know what I mean? We need it. We need it, bro. And you got it. You definitely got it, brother.
We got it.
We got it, you know what I mean? But no, it was, hey, bro, this has been a dope pod, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I appreciate you taking the time after Christmas, man, pulling up on me, you know, having this great conversation.
Gotta pull up on Halo.
Gotta pull up, you know what I mean? But once again, man, shout out to my man Martez for coming out. We appreciate y'all. Till next time, the Groom Theory Way. One love.